Welcome to the Supplier Spotlight interview, brought to you by Universal Unilink. In each episode, we dive into insightful conversations with our top suppliers to uncover the expertise and innovations that drive your business forward. Let's get started.
Starline is a top 40 supplier in the distributor product space. A lot of people know about all the great products they have. You're probably thinking of really great drinkware and personalization and that type of thing when you're thinking about Starline. We've got Brian Porter and Brian DeBottis from Starline here to tell us all the new things that are coming down the road, and we're really excited to have them today. So Brian and Brian, thank you so much for being with us, and already we're providing value. We have 100% more Brians in this interview than previous interviews.
That's kind of what happens. You come to Starline, you got to change your name, but it's worth it in the long run. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Marty, thanks for having us. We're honored to be here with you.
For those who are new to Starline, tell us a little bit about the company and what you guys do at the company.
Sure. Yeah, I could kick that off. So thanks again, Marty. My name's Brian Porter. Brian, one of the Brians here, right? I am the CRO, so I'm the Chief Revenue Officer. I've been at the company going into my 8th year. So I oversee sales and marketing and all those teams, customer service, inside sales, those types of things. And as far as Starline itself, we are a family-owned company, a third-generation company, started in Canada, and we are now based out of Grand Island, New York, which is basically Buffalo, New York, so Western New York. But we do have facilities in both the U.S. and Canada.
Oh, that's great.
Things are going great. We've had an amazing run over the past few years. I believe Brian said in the past 3.5 years, we've doubled the size of the company. So,
wow.
Yeah. So
that's great. It's been a good run for us over the past couple of years.
Most definitely. Yeah.
And to intro myself, I'm Brian DeBottis. I'm going into my 19th year at Starline. I think I get a big check or something next in about a year from now. So it's been a nice run. I've really seen a big change, evolution, and I'll add to what Brian said about Starline. If you're looking for quality, top to bottom, quality experience, ease of use,
right?
That's what we do. That's what we pride ourselves on.
I think I would definitely agree that when you think of Starline, you think of quality products. You guys have some great options as far as kitting and presentation and personalization. So tell us a little bit more about what is it that you're mostly known for?
Why don't we look at it two ways? Like I can talk about product and then Brian can maybe talk about services, because we don't like to limit ourselves just to defining ourselves by the product or the quality of the product. But that is a big component of who we are, right? So our biggest category is drinkware. And I think that's what we've always been known for. Drinkware. Over the past 3, 4, 5 years, one thing that's really helped propel us is our expansion of our bag line. Wonderful across the board, coolers, backpacks, and duffels, and those types of things. But coolers have definitely been the driver there. We've really evolved the development, and it's come up to match the quality of our drinkware, I guess you could say. We've also added in a lot of brand partners. We've got some great, amazing relationships with brand partners that accounts for a good portion of our overall business year in and year out, from the hottest drinkware on the planet, Stanley, to JanSport and Uniball and Pelican coolers, and down from there. And then we've got a nice broad cross section of other markets that we serve with home styles and the lifestyle products, flashlights, electronics, all those types of things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And I think to play off that, there's 3 services right now that currently define us, and they all tie in together a little bit. And I would say those 3 services are personalization, our ability to do low cost effective spec samples and then an on-demand program, one piece minimum. And kind of the way those three relate to one another is years ago, we started personalizing for free. And when I say personalize for free, I put somebody's name underneath a logo on a drinkware item or a bag, so we can do both. And then
Right.
and there's many reasons why personalization is effective. People in this crazy world we live in, right? They get something that's specifically for them with their name on it. It carries a little bit more weight. Plus, they never get rid of it. And if the name of the game is product in
Right.
people's hands, then that's a winner. Over time, we thought, how do we push this out to the masses? And we developed over the past couple of years a low-cost drinkware spec sample program. So for a fixed price, we did a single drinkware spec sample, shipped all in. But the key was not only did we logo it, but we put the name of the recipient underneath the logo. And that's been extremely effective for us. And over the course of time, doing enough of these individual spec samples, we got a lot of confidence that we could do a one-off on-demand program. So we have that now. Starline on demand. We got about 30 items where we print a one-piece minimum.
Oh, that's great.
Oh yeah.
So what type of items do you have in that program?
I can take that question too here. Drinkware, predominantly drinkware and bags. So you water bottles, tumblers. Then we go into the bag side of things where it's cooler bags, backpacks, duffel bags. And halfway through the year, as we were approaching the holidays, we wanted to add more product. Now, all these products have something in common. They're decorated digitally. So the kind of the new stuff that we brought in for Q3, Q4, flashlights, a couple of best-selling Bluetooth speakers, and then some like higher end quality items that were in the housewares category. Some from our brand partners, Joseph. We've got the Stanley 40-ounce quencher and 30-ounce quencher in the program. So a nice cross-section of products that were deep inventory, decorated digitally. And if you wanted to, on the drinkware and the bags, you could add personalization in the on-demand program.
And the nice thing is
great.
with the personalization, and Brian did an amazing job of breaking that down. It's also not just personalization, it could be variable data. So what we found is in these on-demand programs, you have a lot of corporate stores, you've got a lot of pop-up stores. It doesn't just have to be Marty or Debo or Brian on those. It could be a corporate name and then division, those types of things. A lot of times people will put those out there, and in one corporate office, you may have one or two people that redeem those. In another office, you may have 300, but you never really know. And so it lowers that minimum to the bare minimum threshold, and there's not that overwhelming commitment to meet a MOQ, right? So there's more flexibility in putting things out there. So we try to make it as easy as possible in that respect.
That's great. That there's a lot of different ways you can use that minimum order quantity of one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So what are some tools that you offer distributors to help them sell product?
Sure. Yeah. So we've got a lot, varies across the board, right? Brian actually mentioned one that has been I would say our number one driver, the spec program.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is it because we're putting product in people's hands, right? It's also the follow-up that comes with it. So every time that someone does a drinkware piece, for example, in our spec program, it includes the personalization of the variable data, which means that it stays in the buyer's hands. And then within 3 to 4 days, our inside sales team puts together a follow-up idea book, which is another one of our great tools that is built around that specific client, right? So for use, let's say it was a John Deere piece and it went out. That follow-up idea book would have 15 to 20 additional items in there, branded with the John Deere logo, built around manufacturing, agriculture, that type of thing. So it's this great layered approach to selling. So that's been spectacular. Our idea books, which have been around about the same amount of time, you can build those online, but that also gives you the ability to go in, build a complete custom catalog, for lack of a better term. You go in there, you pick the items, you put your graphics on there, you put your logo on there. They are contoured on drinkware, for example. They're sized, And then you can fill in whatever additional themes, copies, those types of things you want. And you can build these out in a matter of minutes, right? So that's been an amazing
Great.
tool. We also have the ability to do one-offs on those. And then, of course, we've got our standard materials that go out. We try to provide a lot of different lifestyle images through like social and email marketing. We're constantly building out different kits and different ways to approach seasonality. From a marketing standpoint, we're very active. We actually do print a full line catalog, we print a catalog twice a year. It's got a majority of the line in there, but we still do a print for those people that like to have, a physical copy in hand. And then, of course, we've got our Zoom catalog. So
still some people that love the paper.
There are people, and I will tell you this, it's not always the demographic that you would think. We have a lot of younger buyers that now come to us and go, you know what? I love to have something physical that I can hold and touch and tag and bend pages and go to and refer. So, it covers a lot. Yeah.
So if one of our members wanted to take advantage of these programs, do they just reach out to you on the website? Do they have to sign up or apply for anything?
D?
So the beauty of the web tools is you don't have to have a login to use them. So you just jump on the website, and just like top to bottom from an ease of use perspective, if you get on the website and you get into a product category, there's a button in the left nav that says navigation that says inventory enable. You check that, and as you surf the website, the stock for every item is heads up display. It's right on top of the image of the item. So no matter where you're searching, you're not going to suggest a product that is out of stock. So continuing on the website, you haven't logged in, you get on the product page, you can make a freight quote, right? You can click on Logo Lab and you can upload art and you can create an accurate virtual. When you make these virtuals, you upload your artwork and it snaps to the maximum standard decoration area. We're not going to give you an opportunity to make it too big or put it somewhere where we can't decorate. If you needed something custom, you could reach out to me. You could reach out to Molly. She's on the inside sales team. And you talk about tools that are available to you. Yeah, we talk about spec samples. We talk about a very functional website that on a Saturday afternoon, you could knock out a bunch of work if you wanted to. But we have a team that supports you. You don't have to do all this on your own. I'm the national accounts guy. It's my job to oversee the relationship. You've got Molly, who's the inside sales rep that works with me. Day in, day out, I need ideas. I need virtuals. I need a quote. That's what Molly does, and she's very fast to respond.
Yeah. I'll tell you another thing is autonomously, if people are working, they like to be able to use these tools. One of two things, Brian's actually done some great videos that are available that walk you through how to do the idea board so you can do these on your own. And then also we're more than happy to take time to set up a quick webinar. Brian's amazing about really showing you how to do this. It sounds incredibly like a deep dive, but it is so easy and so intuitive that using it, we have people that just swear by it. They use it over and over. It's very easy.
Yeah, because if it's effective, it's actually making sales.
That's the key, right?
Personalize the catalogs for specific customers with their logos on all the products. That's fantastic. That's going to definitely get the customers interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah. Ease of use and a nice tool to help sell. That's the key.
That's great. As far as decorating capabilities, I know you do digital color, laser engraving, and what's your range of decorating capability?
And Brian's probably got some tools there to show you. I think we've always been known for our true color, right? The digital, which has been key for us. Long before my joining the team, Starline was known with award-winning true color. Over the past year and change, we've evolved that program. Some of the limitations for us on true color, for example, were we didn't have the ability to go down over a taper, those types of things. So now we've got our True 0.0, and Brian may have some examples of that, where we can actually do a full wrap on an item much more. Another limitation for us was the inability to do handled product, right? Because it wasn't able to rotate. So now we have also the ability to do full 4-color process on handled mugs, which actually just dropped this fall. So Brian, you might have some elaboration there on these.
Yeah, and it all started with 4-color process on drinkware, and it was over 10 years ago that we first developed that. And as Brian said, it's evolved over time. In the beginning, we had a raised feel 4-color process for $1 and the ability to add a name for free, right, in that same decoration area. And as people got more creative with their art files and they wanted more, we're able to do wrap decorations. I can do stuff like this, where maybe you've got a golf outing or a conglomerate and you've got all kinds of logos you want to display for $3 for a half wrap or $5 for a full wrap. And even stuff like this here with my White Claw bottle, you can see we can wrap top.
I do have this very gross looking
Buffalo Bills. Send that to me.
I don't know, man. That's a lot of people are going to have a hard time getting behind that because I'm just kidding. It says the Kansas City guy, but it does look spectacular.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great, being able to do that, especially on the handled drinkware, and including the Stanley line.
That's right.
Including Stanley. Right. Yeah. So.
All right.
And
got to drop some names here.
Brian mentioned that from a category perspective, drinkware was number 1. Bags has really come on as number 2. And there's a couple of reasons for the bag explosion. Number 1, the quality of the bags is spectacular, guaranteed leak proof for the most part on our cooler bag side of things. But there's 2 other factors. And so the process where we decorate these is a transfer process that we make in-house. And you might hear transfer and not think very highly of it, but it's a beautiful transfer that we put on these bags. And it allows us to do the free personalization. So there's nothing shiny around the edges. The white is crisp and clear. As they lay down this white, it's multiple layers of ink in this transfer. And you can see the color here. We can do PMS matching for free when it comes to any of our digital decoration. We actually prefer that you give us a PMS value when you're doing a digital decoration so that we can nail it for you.
And that's very important when you're dealing with the customer's logo. They're very particular about those.
Yeah. Just a little sneak peek for you, Marty. So we try to expand the spec program, right, every year. Starting in February, we are going to bring back our cooler spec program. So that will launch in February. So once again, very similar to the drinkware. It gives you the ability to decorate these, shipping cost included, idea book follow-up. But for all of the members, definitely keep an eye out for that because that'll be coming back in February and March.
Yes, absolutely. And getting a head start on spring and summer. Coolers are going to be very hot.
No doubt. And one thing is, for us is that we really do love to get product in people's hands, right? I mean, you look at our product on a page and it doesn't tell the whole story. Right. But especially with coolers, the one Brian had there, like the ability to touch, to feel, to use it, that's where you cross the finish line, really.
Absolutely. Wow. What else can you guys tell me that you think our members need to know before we end the interview?
Debo, what would you tell someone if you had them in the elevator? What's the elevator?
The elevator pitch.
If I'm in the elevator and you want to sell promotional products and you want a stress-free experience where the product is delivered to the client and they say, thank you, job well done, and they get something that is effective in their hands, it's going to last a long time. It's not going to end up in the trash. It's going to carry their logo proudly by their side for a long period of time, then you should go with Starline. Ding,
absolutely.
Floor 4, everybody get out.
Yeah. He nailed it. Ease of use, right? Ease of use, service, types of things.
Yes.
And something else is keep watching because we're looking for ways to get better for your members, right? And so, for example, we have a collaboration that we announced about a month ago that's coming up. We're going to start carrying the full line of Pro Towels products, right? So we're going to have towels, blankets, those types of things. And it's a great addition to what we already do. We launched our collaboration in regards to web stores with Vantage in August, and that's been great. So just different ways to work with the existing people within the industry, or different ways to just make your world easier, going back to Brian's point. So
Stress-free. I can't
free.
think
That's
of
all
any
you
of
can
our
offer.
members
Yeah,
that
yeah.
want more
I
stress.
don't need any more. I'm getting the grays up here.
Uh, the stress-free offer is for our members. If you guys are stressing over it, that's okay. We don't mind that.
That's right.
But thank you so much for the time. And if people want to get a hold of you, just we've got our contact information on the member site, and we really appreciate the time you spent today.
Thank you,
Can't
Marty.
thank you enough, Marty. It was great to connect as always, and we look forward to another great year together moving into 2025.